At the end of that 10-year period, you've completely updated that property and it never looked outdated because you did it bit by bit by bit to stay fresh. You were able to make the money last longer, to just do little bits at a time, but your property was never outdated and is always going to look like one of the nicest properties out there in pictures and to the client. Hi everybody, today we're going to talk about updates to your property, how often and what kind. Now, we covered this in much more detail in our class, but the reason we're touching on it now is because once you update it, and that's what we teach you how to do, it's not like you can just let it go and then 20 years later update the whole thing again. So here's an example. I own a real estate company in Ohio, and just the other day, a client called me and asked why this particular house was at a very high price. She didn't know the area super well, and as soon as I saw the street, I knew, and I told her that street was where a lot of people with money who wanted to live in this particular area, but out in the country, built. And I told her those people are banking on this being 25 years ago because they're pricing it like it's still the street, and it's a great street, but not the neighborhood now that's out in the country that people are buying and building in that warrants that price. And her text back to me said, "Oh, LOL, that explains it. I felt like when I saw the pictures, I was walking into 1994. We see that all of the time with these vacation rentals, especially as we were looking to buy this last one. Some of them haven't been touched in 25, 30, 35 years, and some have been completely redone in the last probably 6 months to a year. You can tell by what kind of colors and so forth they're putting in. There's got to be that happy medium somewhere so that you're not at the extreme of nothing being touched in 35 to 40 years or so. Like I said, we teach that in our class, like how to make the full thing updated. But now we're going to talk about the next step. So it's already updated. You're renting it. It's good to go. How often do you do updates, and what does that look like? I'm going to tell you to do one a year. I had clients probably, 15 years ago, and every time they got their tax return, they would do one update to their house with that money. The great thing was, over that next 10 years, their house had been updated little by little by little, and then it looked fabulous, but they didn't stop. They would keep updating. So now the update from 10 years ago might get updated again. It's kind of what you're doing with the condo. Between styles changing and just wear and tear, things are going to need to be changed. Just make sure you do the right ones. So a number of years ago, my husband and I and the boys stayed at a condo that was very, very nice. There was not one thing I would have changed. And when we were checking out, I made sure I'd let the owner know how nice the property was and how great his condo was. And he said, "Thank you so much." He said, "We're actually going to do updates in the master bedroom and bathroom, including new carpet." Well, when I sent him that text, we were still there. And I was looking at the carpet thinking, why are you replacing that? Like, it's completely fine. I would have rather have seen another update as a guest than that. Or really nothing at all, because like I said, it looked great. So you need to make sure you're doing the right ones and that it makes sense. So let's talk about some examples. Carpet is a big one. It's going to wear and tear. It's going to get stained. That's something that you need to have on a regular schedule to update. Furniture, same thing. It's going to have wear and tear. It's going to have stains. It's going to get dated. By having a schedule that maybe you do the furniture one year and the carpet the next year, and the next year something else, you're going to always have furniture and carpet that look good, and it's not going to be fully outdated or outdated at all at any point. If you and your husband got married in 2000 and you were registering for dishes then, but now you were going to have a 25th anniversary and register for dishes here in a couple years, would you register for the same ones? Probably not. We kind of forget that dishes can have pattern styles that change. They can break. They can just get gross from being used so much over and over in a number of years. That's something else that needs to be on your list of updates. How about this? Bedding. I've been looking at pictures of properties all over the country, wherever we go, or where we've been looking to buy properties, and every time I see an outdated comforter that's 20 years old, I immediately think the place is dirty. Why? Is it because it's stained? No. Is it because it's not comfortable or not clean? No, it could very well be very clean and cleaned every time. But just knowing how old it is and how many people have sat on it or used it or cuddled up with it, if it's a blanket and they're cold, grosses me out. Because to me, it feels dirty because of all of the different people who have been in and out of that property over that time frame. It's not expensive whenever you do little updates at a time, but it keeps everything fresh. Fresh sheets are gonna make the bed look nicer. They're gonna make the carpet look newer. They're gonna make the towels look nicer because that's an update that you've done. So what I'm telling you is to make a list of all the updates that you need to do or things you need to freshen up and then figure out a cycle. Listen, there's lots of different reasons, but I can think of 3 of why you don't want to go from nothing to everything every 10 years that you own this property. Here's one: taxes. Listen, it's a write-off, but you don't need to go 0 to 100 with your write-offs. Maybe you want to spread it out a little bit. So you have some write-offs this year, some write-offs the next year, some write-offs the next year. Another thing is you're spending all that money that you could use for something else. Let's say you have a great year in 2021, a great year in 2022. You decided to drain all of that money for upgrade, so you have a tax write-off, and then in 2023 you see a dream property that you would love to add to your portfolio, but you can't because you drained all that money the last 2 years in updates. By spreading it out, you're minimizing risk from income. You're keeping your profits always in there in case there's another property that you come across, and also if there is something major that breaks or needs to be replaced, you're ready for it. Let's say the refrigerator and the stove both die at the same time. You've got money in there because you're keeping a cushion as you're updating piece by piece. Let's say you were going to do linens that year, but when your stove and refrigerator break down, you're like, you know what? Why don't I just do a dishwasher and a microwave at the same time so they all match? Great idea. You're kind of spreading that out, and that's what is the best way to handle this. So by doing it piece by piece by piece, one thing a year or one thing every other year to update, you're going to make your carpet fresh. You're going to make your linens fresh. You're going to put new bedding on. Maybe 2 years later, you're going to do carpet. Maybe 2 years after that, you're going to do new dishes. At the end of that 10-year period, you've completely updated that property and it never looked outdated because you did it bit by bit by bit to stay fresh. You were able to make the money last longer to just do little bits at a time, but your property was never outdated and is always going to look like one of the nicest properties out there in pictures and to the clients. And that's the way that I would suggest doing this. For more tips of how to have a successful vacation rental business, click like and subscribe.